Well, I think men should pay for everything.
Oh, Mr. Tyrone. I just gotta get freaky for you because you love the hoes.
I don't care if they don't like me. I came here to stunt. Yeah. I don't care if they don't.
What's good, everybody? If you're first time viewing my content in this video, make sure you like the video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Before we get into the video, people have been telling me that they haven't been getting my videos like that because of notifications. So if you are a first time viewer, or if you consistently watch me, or if you have come across this video and you are a subscriber, make sure you turn on your notifications so that you will get notifications for my upcoming videos and all type of content that I have to come. All right. Now, as we are getting into this video, and as you can see by the title, we are going to be discussing the basis of paying and modern day dating and all this other type of stuff. And I've been talking about, well, I talked about this with one of my friends a couple of days ago, but I specifically saw something concerning this subject on TikTok by one of my lovely friends, Ms. Nye, and I did a duet concerning the basis of this topic. And we're going to watch a snippet concerning the basis of this topic. So let's get into it.
Hey y'all, so let's talk about 50-50 in dating versus a man providing, and where this conversation lacks realisticness. Is realisticness a word? I don't think so. Anyway, basically, it's a lot of young women, and I seen Clark talk about this, which made me want to share my opinion on it too, because I see it, and I be telling my women that I'm around this in real life, so let me just say it on TikTok too. It is unrealistic for you as a woman that's between the ages of 18 to 24 to expect your man to pay for every single thing. It's just unrealistic, simply due to the economy, simply due to the fact that most men between those age ranges do not have that money, especially if you're at the 18, 19, 20 part of that equation. And it's like, unless you want to be a sugar baby, unless you want to just sleep with old men that have the money to do that, then you need to be more realistic and honest with yourself about what you can expect for a man to do. I personally think that women that are young, like I said, between the ages of 18 to 24, should be more focused on the mindset of their man rather than the actual dollar amount that he has in his bank account. Because a man can have the mindset to be a provider, and a man can have a growth mindset on his own even if he doesn't make that much money yet. And that is more important than him making the money, because a lot of young dudes also who can make this money, or a lot of young dudes who you see, they be buying their girlfriends this and a third, they be scamming or selling. And me personally, I don't like those types of men, and I would encourage young black women to not deal with those types of men for obvious reasons, or what I think is obvious reasons. So a young man who wants to make his money legally, it's going to take him some time to build up his income. And if he's young and he's making legal money, but it might not be enough, but he still has the mindset to on his own that he wants to one day have a family, he wants to provide for that family, he wants to build his own career up to where he can afford to do that, that's the kind of guy, that's a green flag, you know? Like when me and my boyfriend together, we're still young as hell, we're still only 23. But when we first got together, when I met him, we was 20 when we met. We had both just turned 20. And we met working at Juicy Crab. And since then, he's tripled his income. But guess what? When we was working at Juicy Crab, one day I told him I didn't have the money to eat. You know what he did? He took me to Walmart and he bought me a cart full of groceries. Didn't ask him to, he offered to. That was something that showed me, okay, he has a provider mindset. He actually does want to spend money and take care of his woman.
Now, she makes some very great points, and I never really saw it that way, but she really broke it down very thoroughly concerning the basis of 50-50 versus the basis of providing, when men provide for a woman. And, you know, she bases more so on the mindset rather than a man actually going out of his way to try and provide for a woman, especially concerning the basis of us between the age of 18 and 24. We are building up ourselves so that we can build a legacy, you know. And I think we should have some bit of consideration for us who are in the age of between the age of 18 and 24, that we are still building up ourselves, even 25 in some cases, that we're still building up ourselves, we're still building up our, you know, finance or whatever the case may be, so that we may have the privilege and the consideration and the power to provide for a family or to provide for a woman, and so on and so forth. I was raised up in a household to where It was both men and women providing for each other. Black people, you know, we were raised up in a specific time where we only had each other, right? There was no feminist basis, you know, concerning the basis of women going out to do whatever they wanted to do and being strong and independent. I never was raised around any feminist black women. All the black women that I was raised around in my family had husbands. They provided nutrition for their husbands, peace for their husbands, love for their husbands, and a good plate of food to eat.
More cookies.
And, you know, I was raised up around, you know, particularly stay-at-home mothers and so on and so forth. But even the women that went to work and had occupations, they still provided for their children, and they collaborated and had a partnership with their husbands and their significant others to provide for their family, to provide for their children. It was never this, it wasn't even 50-50. It wasn't even just this 50-50 thing. It was 100-100, you know. I even saw something recently with Michelle Obama. She even talked about the basis concerning the basis of relationships and, you know, what's going on in this modern day, that because of technology, because of social media, we have been given these false perceptions on relationships, these false perceptions of modern day dating and marriage and so on and so forth, to the basis or even to the extent to where people don't even want to be married because they haven't been given the right motives. A good amount of, you know, this new generation, it's not even that we're raised up in a particular place to where, you know, it's different in modern day women and modern day men and modern dating, all this modern stuff. The only thing that's modern is your phone. The only thing that's modern is technology and social media and this new illusion, this new media that's diluting the masses into this false conception on a relationship and concerning the basis of a marriage and so on and so forth. And so what's going on here is that you have an echo chamber on social media, this gender war between men and women, to where you are beginning to see an unveiling of people who were never raised with the right values on knowing what it takes to be in a relationship. A lot of these people that you see on social media, they don't deserve a platform, first and foremost, but secondly, they were raised up in broken households, and you can hear it in the way that they talk. When you see women out here, you know, publicly involuntarily slander their own men, is sickening. When you see men out here talking about we're gonna get our passports because ain't no good women out here, right? Mama live up the street, grandma live down the block, auntie live across state, but yet somehow, some way, there's no good women in America. How does that make sense? You mean to tell me all the women that really took the women even from high school, you know, the women that helped you throughout the grades from kindergarten to 5th grade, like there was no woman. There's no good woman whatsoever, right? I don't understand it. Like, some of these men have this disdain towards their own women. It's sickening. Some of these men will indeed overdose on the red pill to such a point to where they won't even find the right woman for themselves. They end up messing up their own lives. And that's the dark side of this particular movement that a lot of men refuse to talk about and refuse to acknowledge. And to end out this video, this lovely black couple, or this lovely woman, she's a strong representative of black love on social media. She says, I'm seeing this constant debate between black men and women of who should pay for this and who should pay for that in marriages/relationships. Men should pay for everything. Women should pay half, etc., etc. My question is, where's the debate for us to work together as a collective? See, and personally for me, like, you know, when, you know, this year has been the most, you know, of the times that I've ever, you know, gone on dates and all this other type of stuff. And something that I noticed that going on dates with women is that this whole providing for the woman in her meal and all this other type of stuff, especially if it's someone that you genuinely care about, is not even that deep. Like, I mean, just on my end, right? I mean, I never went out with women that wanted to go to expensive restaurants. Like, we could go to goddamn Pizza Hut and have a good time and kick back and watch some Boondocks and so on and so forth, right? We could go down to the Chinese restaurant and get our favorite dish and whatever the case is. Go to Bojangles. Like, you know, some women, it's just the little things that matter, you know. It's not about, you know, spoiling her and giving her the world, all this type of stuff. And if you're chasing after women that have those type of values, I think you're chasing after the wrong women. And I don't think, you know, when you deal with some of these men in these red pill movements, that they don't acknowledge that when it concerns the basis of the women that they're chasing after, yeah, you're chasing after a lot of pretty faces, but a lot of them are brain dead. A lot of them ain't got a lot of stuff going up in their head. So you're teaching these men that these modern women are this, that, and the third. They shouldn't pursue relationships. They shouldn't pursue marriage and so on and so forth. But you're teaching these men to chase after the wrong set of women. Anyways, let me know how you feel about this in the comment section below, respectfully. All right. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, turn on your notifications, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, right? And before you go, check out these other videos.